So have you ever thought about tackling a bathroom project? New countertop? That's what I'm doing today. Let's get started. Hey, so welcome back. I promised last week that we'd be doing some demo work, some new things around here, but in the previous video I promised you'd never be in the bathroom. I'm sorry, we're back in the bathroom again. But as you guys know, we moved into this house a couple years ago, and I've been working on some places I wanted to kind of fix up, but the bathroom, the master bath, really wasn't a place I was really spending a lot of priority time on. I wasn't happy with it. You can see here, it is not very pretty. The ceramic tile was great in the 80s when this was built. The house was built in 87. But really it is showing its age and definitely tired of it. So I am going to be doing a little demo work on it. Today, I'm going to start off, we're going to do this in a couple of days because I'm not going to try and tackle it all at one time. I'm going to take out the backsplash first because that is over top of the top. And so my goal is to take this off today, and then I'm going to start taking off the bottom below that. But let me show you how I started off with some of my preparations, because this is Sunday. Wednesday morning is when they're putting in the new top, and I don't want to be rushing last minute. Oh my gosh, they're coming in quickly. But let me show you how I started with getting this prepared for the granite that's coming in. So basically, I just kind of made a very simple little design that I was able to take to the granite store. I did a top view. I just measured how long it was, how deep it was, how far over it was to the sink, how big the sink was, how far down it was, just so they had an idea. I also did a front view of the cabinets down below. And we're not replacing the cabinets beneath because they're very much like the medicine cabinet kind of right there. They're a really good quality oak cabinet, and maybe they're not in style at the second, but guess what? They go in and out of style, and they're well constructed. They're not the kind of cabinets you buy at your local home improvement store. They're a little more custom built back in the day. So they're a really good quality, and I'm not really needing to replace them. So other than, having this design, I just took tape measure and writing things down. And I took some photos that I just took on my phone, went over there, and she's like, oh, she had no trouble at all. The only thing we're having a little bit of question on is the backsplash. Because this countertop was put on with 2 sheets of plywood, then the ceramic tile. And the mirror is obviously there. So they, take a lot of math figuring it out. And if their math was wrong and they'd already cut the granite, yeah, so we're going to install the granite top first, and that day after they're done, they leave, they'll have measured this, and then they're going to come back a couple days later and put in the backsplash. But I need to get everything out first before they get here. So I'm going to take off the microphone, and I'm going to put this into fast forward a little bit. You can just watch me go at lightning speed in my ever so attractive clothes that I can get dirty in. I don't dress up for videos when we have to do demo work. You guys see that when we work on the bus, the hair is back, so I don't get it in the way. Got just yucky clothes on that don't care if it gets gross or nasty. So let's get started. Okay. This is kind of what I was expecting to see. They have put this down with just some normal adhesive, and luckily it's coming off together, but I've got my handy dandy tool here. This is actually left in the house, so it's much stronger than a normal drywall trowel, so I can actually bang on it. It's got metal back there. Got my hammer here. I've got a couple of screwdrivers. Wasn't sure if I was going to need them or not, but I've got the first row off, and that's kind of what I was expecting. It's going to rip the heck out of the walls. So that's why I'm hoping that backsplash will be this exact same height. If anything, I might have to put a little bead of something there to make sure that we don't see anything like a quarter round or something, but we'll see. Don't know. Let's tackle the mirror. That's what I'm the most afraid of. That's why I started over here first. I've got to go to the other side. So let's head over there. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. I want to make sure I've got enough room I can work here. So I've got to take this one, I'll take this one, then we'll work our way over. Day 2, it's Monday, and I'm sorry it cut off at the end. The microphone had a bit of an issue, but I got everything cleaned up. This was really stressful. This mirror and the tile right there. Today, it's gonna be a whole lot easier. I think I'm gonna start with taking off the edge here, and then I'll start working my way back. I don't know how it's attached. I do see a hint of like concrete board, or by brand name like Hardybacker board here. So I'm hoping it's gonna be easy to pop off. I went to my Partworks studio and I grabbed some goggles today. Going to be a little bit more destructive because I don't have to be quite so careful. I'm not quite so slow. So didn't have any trouble yesterday, but I've got them today. So let's go ahead and get started. It's what I feared. I got the edge off, and to take things off, I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll be fortunate enough. It's 1987. No, they didn't use screws for everything. So they nailed this Hardybacker board onto the front. So I think I'll keep going with the tile for a little bit. Maybe at least I'll try and be strategic. Try maybe a couple of the rows where I think they might have, I'm hoping, screwed down. That'd be a whole lot easier than nails, but we'll see. Let me go ahead and get a few more tiles off. But this front edge, that was really easy. It's my worst nightmare. Yep, that is a nail head. I knew to expect something bad to happen or make it harder. You never know what you're gonna get when you do demo, but guess I'll keep going. Here goes the tile. Okay. So all the tile is off except for around the sink here. I've disconnected the plumbing. I did that before we started today. I had a towel ready, I had a bucket, and the only thing I really knew was a little bit of the bucket when I took out the drain trap, because it did have a little bit of water in there. But no leaks. Had the towel there just in case, because you know your luck. You don't have a towel when you need it. When you're messing with water, you're gonna have a mess. So I didn't need it. Actually, it was a nice cushion for me to sit on a second ago when I was getting all that tile over on that end done. But I need to figure out the sink here. I took all the tile off. You're like, why did you take the tile off? Well, I think it's gonna be too heavy because I think I'm gonna need to go find my flat pry bar and see about pulling all of the Hardybacker up so then I can get to the layers of plywood underneath. Fortunately, I did find one of the nails and took it out, and it's just a little bitty like roofing nail. It's just a little bitty inch and a quarter roofing nail. So it's not like it's got a lot of grip to it. It's just I got to be able to get to them. And they're pretty flush. Like there's one here, it's flush, and it's coated with the adhesive. So it's going to be a little bit of work. So let's go ahead and see about getting the sink, I guess, out. I'll be honest, I've not really taken out sinks like this before, especially out of a tiled, this is my first major tiled counter. I've done tile on the walls, but I've never done it on the top of a vanity before, and it sucks. So let's get started. I hit the jackpot. I was able to get underneath it, and look, it's coming loose. I just glued it to the tile, so I think I will carefully try and remove this without killing myself. Halfway through the demo, maybe a quarter. I think I'm gonna try and take off some of this front pieces, just kind of get a feel for what I'm working with. Okay, so here's one of the nails. There you go. They're not very big, but it doesn't come out too hard, and you can see, well, I'm not so sure how effective this was. Good thing it never came off because it kind of was wrapped around here, but half the time the nail went between the two pieces of plywood. So, okay, well, it lasted all this time without having fallen off, so well, good for them, I guess. So at some point in my life, I had a flat pry bar. I don't know where it's at. And instead of stopping and going and finding and taking twice as long, I brought my other two regular, big, massive pry bar. So I don't know if I'll need the big tall one here, but you never know. It's a ways back there. I found a seam right here. That's why I was starting here when I was starting to pry up, because the corner's kind of hard to get to. So let me go ahead and keep working. I found the plywood. I'm one of those workers when I'm working on something, I need it to be pretty clean. So you probably saw me cleaning up a little bit. I even swept the floor because I don't want to step on all this hard, crusty stuff because we have a wood floor underneath. So I don't want to damage that. But yay. Now I'm not so sure still how it's put together yet, I'm not seeing any nail heads, but they could be finished nails and they look about the same size as the nails that were put down for the Hardybacker. So, good thing I got the goggles today. These things, these safety glasses, have been a godsend because I've been hit in the face a lot. Definitely gonna have to shake the old hair out early. I probably got things in here and definitely am getting dirty today. And they've actually got a boo-boo. I got a little bit of a hit in my knuckle, but it's okay. Let me go ahead and get the rest of this done. I'm gonna go ahead and just turn off the camera for a little bit just to get it done quickly. It's not that I don't like you guys, it's just I wanna get this done. This is gross. Okay, so I've got everything off the top. I have cleaned it, well, I've dusted it off, so it's at least a clean, not dusty surface. And at the very end, when I got it all cleaned off, I noticed that there was a small section of plywood between the two. Now let me go ahead and just take this out so I can see what did they do to get it together. And so looks like we've got some, wood glue and like finishing nails, or at least nails that came from like an air gun. So, and I know that they weren't overly precise, just as they weren't very precise putting screws in this way, trying to put them between the two layers. At least, that was not very smart of them. They didn't do very well, at least under here. Let me show you something. Now I know it's kind of dark under here, but you can see that every time they shot the nails, they kind of missed. Let's look back here, see if they missed in there. Nope, look like they did better in there. So it looks like some of my job may not be overly hard, but I'm going to go ahead and keep starting at that end down there where at least I can get one layer of plywood up, then I'll worry about the second one. And between the last time I was talking to you and now, I had to run to the shop, had to do some filming with the wizard today, but I grabbed his ever so nice 3-pound hammer because once I get the top layer of plywood off, to get the next one, I don't want to hurt the cabinets underneath, so I'm going to bang from the bottom. But trying to get 2 layers up at one time, yeah, I'm not into that. Let's do it 1 layer at a time. 1 layer at a time has been working well for me. So let's go get the camera positioned and let you guys watch. I did it. It's all free. So we're back over here. This is a small section. There's just a little piece right here. So I think, try and reach in from there and bang from the bottom. There is a center cross part that goes here. So I gotta be careful not to hit that. So let's see. 1 board off. Board 2, gone. Okay, so now the cleanup continues. I'm gonna go ahead and pull all these nail heads out and get everything cleaned up. For back here, I'm gonna get the shop vac, suck those up so I don't actually make any more mess. I'll clean up down there. The next thing we're gonna see is when the top is put in. I'm not actually gonna film that part because I don't have permission from the guys that are coming to get that done. But next thing you'll see with the new granite top. End of the day, Monday. I got tomorrow off. They're coming Wednesday morning. It's done. It's all done. It's installed. I finally have a more modern vanity top for the bathroom. It was super easy, this part. The granite part was easy because I didn't have to do it. It was great. They brought it in. They had some support over where the sink was cut to make sure it didn't break. Because that is the weak spot. They just had a couple of pieces of like 2x4s that they clamped on both sides when they brought it in. But literally they dropped it in place, pushed it to the back wall, slid it over, and that's it. Because it's heavy as sin, they don't have to glue it down. They did put a little bit of caulking on the front edge just to kind of seal that, but that's not really holding much. But this isn't going anywhere, okay? And of course, since the top of the cabinets was flat, it's not going, it's not teetering or anything like that. It was a good solid surface. Backsplash, just set in place as well. They did put some caulking behind that, some silicone to kind of glue it to the wall, but again, it was just blobs of it, okay? They didn't have to, put down a whole thin set of adhesive. It doesn't need all that. So just some blobs back there. It'll be fun to take out someday, but hopefully this will age better than the 4-inch tiles. The white line we see, that's going to go clear in a couple of days. It's just the caulking they put into as a sealant. It'll go clear, but it just takes some time. So let's take a look at this. You can see my sink as well. The sink we did install. That is the help I had with the Wizard. The Wizard came and helped me with the sink. As much as I want to say I'm great with plumbing, it's an area I've not worked with much, but I did put the faucet in the sink myself. He just had to help with getting the lines attached to the actual, water. But let's take a look. Doesn't this look a million times better? Got a nice vessel sink on top. Kind of like this idea a little more than doing an under sink, just because we lost about 1.5 inches after we took out the 2 layers of plywood and the concrete board. So this actually is a little bit lower than what we had. So having the sink on top kind of compensates for that. We did do a brushed finish on our faucet, but it looks really good. And we've already tested a little bit. We've brushed our teeth in here. It worked great. There is one thing obviously we need to address, and that is the elephant in the room, which is this massive chip in the mirror. I have some tape that's going to go over that. We're going to try the tape version first, see if that looks okay. If that doesn't look okay, that's the $10 option. There is another option that you can actually kind of have an adhesive kind of version of like molding. They can order it online. There's a company that does that, but unfortunately with this big of a mirror, they charge an extra surcharge, which I understand. But we're seeing if this method works first. See if the stick-on version is okay. And then, I'm kind of like, okay, it doesn't stick out as much. But again, I'm not one of those people that spends hours in my bathroom. I get ready in the morning and off I go. I got things to do. I don't have time to just hang out here in the potty. So, hope you've enjoyed the tour of my bathroom again. I promised you guys a while ago I wasn't going to have you back in here, but I'm sorry you're back in here with me. Hey, the Wizard is approaching 1 million subscribers. He should be reaching that this next coming week. We are so excited. This is just like so surreal. We never thought we would be YouTubers to begin with, then let alone have the success that he's had. And that is just amazing. And it's always, many of you guys came from his channel, so I want to thank you for helping both of us. So I'll be working on a video for that. We're working on a video for him as well. Hope you guys join me next week. See ya.